Not everyone is born with a destiny, but for the sons of Lavar Ball, all roads always led to the basketball court from the moment they were old enough to lace up some sneakers. For these three kids from Cali, it was instilled in them from their youth that they were here to do one thing and one thing only. But while Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo are all household names today, the road hasn't been without its stalls and pitfalls. Whether it was claims that they were exploited by their father's own desires for fame, or suggestions that they haven't fulfilled their potential, few families face as much public scrutiny as this one. And now, one of them looks to have abandoned the hoop dreams to carve out a new path where they can finally win. It's your boy Luesta, and this is how the Ball brothers became basketball's most infamous family. Depending on your viewpoint, Lavar Ball is either a mastermind and business extraordinaire.
Who owned a business that you knew? Because a lot of times we have
nobody. I can look at that by looking at my mom and dad and their mom and dad. Everybody in the workforce, man. I don't want to be in no workforce. I see what they doing.
Or a man who has used his kids for his own ends, no matter the personal or professional cost.
To me, Lavar is very selfish. I think because he wasn't an athlete and he missed his window, he's vicariously living through his kids, and he wanted like this instead of, he let me say crazy stuff to make people dislike my kids and draw attention.
Despite Matt Barnes' claims, Lavar actually did play professional sports. He had a brief football career which encompassed time at the Jets, Panthers, and the London Monarchs before an injury brought it all to a halt. With that, he became a personal trainer in Cali to provide for his family. And while he was evidently successful enough to live in the Chino Hills area, it wasn't until 2015 when his profile began to rise. That year, Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo combined to average 71.2 points per game, while leading their high school, Chino Hills, to a California state championship and perfect 35-0 record. With that incredible feat gaining traction, Lavar began to unleash himself upon the world. Suddenly, this exuberant dad was telling the world that his son Lonzo was Magic Johnson with a jumper and basically everyone else in between. What became clear was that he had the utmost belief in them, even if not everyone was so certain.
When we met, he told me that we were gonna get married and have boys, because he only makes boys, of course.
Everything is a plan for me picking my woman. Tina's an athletic woman. I'm an athletic man. It's all lined up. Our last name is Ball. Holla at your man. I said, once I have my boys, I'm gonna have them close together. We only need 3. 1 on each lane and 1 down the middle.
But Lavar didn't plan to take any chances. Rather than rely on belief, he tried to orchestrate the success that he wanted to see through a routine that had him pushing like a drill sergeant day in and day out.
I got a nice little system here. As soon as the boys come home from school and practice, we make about 200 shots on the shooting machines. My boys make just like it's nothing. Shoot them with your left. See that? They not ready for that. And the next thing I do is I make them lift weights Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we doing pull-ups. So, good.
We just started having fun, we didn't want to go outside and do homework. We want to stay outside and keep shooting.
A lot of people be like, oh, you push them to the limit. No, I guide them to the limit. I tell them what to do and get it done. But if I gotta push you, this ain't for you.
Over time, his outlandish claims made him a favorite of the media.
I'm not gonna be like everybody else and talk about, what you did or didn't do when you were in college. Forget all of that. Right. What I'm asking you is a simple question. We talk about the GOAT here, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, and you running your mouth talking about you gonna beat him one-on-one. Why would you say something so blasphemous?
In my heyday,
blasphemous.
He would need help.
Really?
He's too
really?
small. His name is big and y'all like, it was a 5-on-5 game, he good. One-on-one, I'm undefeated, never lost.
Meanwhile, the brothers themselves kept their heads down and were striving towards greatness.
Does it matter to you all who you feel at a certain stage is the best?
He could say when I was 12, I was better than you, but I like to live in the present. Truth is, I'm the best. He's second, and he's last.
I'm gonna say I'm the best.
He's gonna say it, but it's not the truth. But he's gonna say it.
Let him say they better.
It's his pride. It's his pride kicking in.
They just gonna talk. They just gonna talk.
Rather than solely focusing on their training, Lavar also decided to turn that buzz he helped them generate into cash. Soon, he, his sons, and Tina were starting the Ball in the Family web series on Facebook Watch, which ran for 5 seasons. This meant that the kids were growing up in front of the world, but not in a way that they see as leading them to be damaged in the same way as many child stars.
We got famous, quote unquote, I think towards the end of my high school career. So I didn't catch too much of it as a kid. I think Melo, our youngest brother, his probably come up was a lot crazier. He was famous when he was like 12 years old. So I think that was definitely different for him. For us, I think it was more of our dad, just managing most things, making sure that we were just working out, getting good grades, and staying out of trouble. So it wasn't too crazy as a kid, I don't think. What would you say?
Well, it feels crazy as a kid?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, it's turned up. We used to see like, we would probably see like 20 kids a day for real. Cause my dad was a trainer when we was young. So
Yeah.
we'd be running 3-on-3s with the whole neighborhood. So that was fun every day. And we'd go to the park and shit, everybody. Be like 20 kids deep, for real.
But what he really saw as the jewel in his crown was the Ball family clothing line, Big Baller brand, which traded in signature shoes for his sons from the age of 16 and a whole host of other apparel. After Lavar was labeled the worst thing to happen in basketball for the last 100 years by Nike's marketing director George Raveling for asking for $1 billion shoe deal for his kids, Lavar instead decided to go at it alone. And while there was skepticism for many, Lavar was endorsed by none other than Jay-Z for going against the grain.
Lavar Ball, he said, I'm gonna start my own company. Everybody's like, you should sign to Nike.
Yeah.
Right. Now he may go about things wrong. He may rub everything, but I bought 3 pair. Why did I buy 3? I didn't get them, but that man has a vision of his own. Why wouldn't I support him?
Right.
Why wouldn't I support him? He feels like he can move culture, and his son got a big enough name and a big enough brand that they can do it.
Right.
Nike had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Why do we get so upset when us as a culture want to start our own shit? That shit is puzzling to me.
In other circles, he was ridiculed for the price point of the shoe.
Lavar Ball's new signature shoe, it must give you a pedicure while you play.
Not only should it give you a pedicure,
And they got slides too.
but walk the dog, make up your bed, and do your taxes.
$220 slides?
$220 slides. $495 for the Zo2s. Dollars, not rubles, not lira, dollars.
The
And wait,
colorway is nice.
well,
But supply and demand, where's the demand for his shoes other than by his father?
look, the signature ones where you can get his signature glass case.
Was that a 9?
$995.
Say, bro.
The Gucci slides don't even cost $220.
YSLs don't, that's the YSL price.
Jesus had better have worn those slides.
Let me tell you, them things gonna be sitting on the shelf. Why are you trying to get people in trouble with their parents?
I know.
Do you know how many teeth I'd have lost if I'd have asked my mom, hey, Mom, could I have $500 for somebody's shoes
You
who's
wouldn't
never
be with
played
me
in the
right
NBA?
now, Michael, that's for sure.
What, you going to the NBA with him? Golly, they crazy.
Still, he insisted that the brand was worth a fortune. Everyone knows it's worth $1 billion, Lavar Ball said, according to a Bleacher Report. Why do you think they coming at me so hard? They want to take this off, baby. Yet, when critics came at him directly, he defended his decision-making and stood his ground. Even when the reporters claimed that the Big Baller brand's Lonzo signature shoe was a flop.
Have you sold any shoes yet?
Yeah, I've sold a good amount to me. Like I said, there's different amounts.
How many?
Stay in your lane. Anyways,
I'm just curious.
I don't even worry about her over there.
Why
Every time
not?
she
I
scares
think
me to
that's kind
death.
of disrespectful.
She said she scares Lonzo. Lonzo's scared of me. She scares me. That's why I don't look that way. I don't look over there because she scares me. I'm thinking of Saul right now.
I'm just trying.
Leave me alone. I'll tell you, 400-500 pair.
So she's a reporter. Her job is to probe.
She can report to whoever she want behind her. I'm talking to you, Colin.
Well, what is your problem with me?
Hey, my problem is you are a hater.
But as it turns out, they may have had a point. Given an F grade by the Better Business Bureau for failure to resolve complaints in 2018, the brand was ultimately a failure in the long run. First, the Zo2 price dropped by over $200 before they progressed to the point that they were selling tees at rock bottom prices at volleyball tournaments. However, it wasn't all for nothing, because while he wasn't the clothing mogul he expected to be, Lavar won out in other ways. Although Lavar has tried to get his own bag over the years, the real gems in the crown were always his prized sons, who felt they were ready to take on the world.
I made them from day one to be the baddest suckers out there. And that's what they are, until somebody defeats them. And like I said, even then, we coming back for more. But I think the best thing to do is run and hide. Stay away from the dark side. Them ball boys over there waiting and debating on how we gonna whoop that ass. You know what? A lot of people ask me, they live up to my expectations. It ain't about living up to my expectations, it's about living up to their own expectations. I don't push my boys, I just lead them.
Convinced that they were the finest to ever step on the court, Lavar made bold predictions. At one point, he claimed that all 3 of my boys are going to be one and done, meaning they'd play a singular year in college before the NBA came calling. And to him, each one of them had the capacity to outshine one another.
have two other brothers. Who's the best? Who's going to be, in your opinion, the best player of the three of you when all is said and done?
Each one of them think they're going to be the best. I'll break it down to you.
Okay,
right now,
good, yeah.
Lonzo's the best.
Right now.
Gelo has the most potential to be the best on the fact that his body's so big and strong. Melo's going to be the best because he gets the most experience.
However, the end result of this is lingering questions over whether his prophecy has been or will be fulfilled. Not only in terms of how many of his sons made it to the league, but if those who did have lived up to the lofty expectations placed on them. Let's begin with Lonzo. The eldest brother, Zoe emerged from Chino Hills as one of the 5-star recruits and was soon scouted by UCLA to play for the Bruins. From the outset, his father unsurprisingly felt like he was killing it and made some huge claims.
You were on record talking about put your son on the Golden State Warriors.
Yes.
And put Steph Curry on UCLA.
Yes.
And your son would explain how
Right
your son
now.
would be better.
You're saying that
Right now. UCLA wouldn't be where they at. Steph Curry gonna shoot him out the game. He ain't rebounding and passing that ball.
Shoot him out the game?
Shoot him out the game.
Out the game.
Out
Not
the game.
in the game.
Soon as
Out
they
the
double
game.
him up, he gonna lose that ball. He too little. Now you put Lonzo on there with all them athletes and running and gunning.
Hold
guess
on.
what?
Your son is that much bigger than Steph Curry?
He bigger than Steph, because Steph Curry, what, 6'2"?
Steph Curry about 6'3".
Okay,
Long
I'll
arms.
let him be 6'4". He's still shorter than my boy. Long arms? Can he jump? Can he run? Not like my boy. Let me tell you something.
Oh
if you
my
take
God.
Steph Curry...
Something is wrong with you!
But he was ultimately right in this case. UCLA went 31-5 that season, with Lonzo residing at the heart of that effort to ensure they outperformed how they played in recent years by a long way. So it's no surprise that he was drafted 2nd overall for the Lakers. Straight away, the legendary team had massive hopes for his arrival, with Magic Johnson even giving him a huge cosign.
You ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
You know, Laker Nation is going crazy, so this is fun for everybody.
I want you to also thank your parents for hosting Rob and I.
And we're ready to get started and have you be the face
of this great organization of the Lakers, okay?
Okay, sounds good to me.
So, Coach Walton here. Congratulations. Really looking forward to getting you out here and starting to work and have you in the gym with some of the other young guys.
Really excited for you, happy for you. Enjoy the day, my man. Enjoy the day.
All right, cool.
From Joey and Jesse, ownership and GD, we'd like to welcome you to LA. Let's make it happen.
Yep, let's do it.
After becoming the Summer League MVP, Lonzo had his professional debut in the NBA against the Clippers. However, things got off to a rocky start, as he didn't expect a guy like Patrick Beverley to torture him throughout the game.
I play fast-paced now because of Magic. I watched MJ, I watched Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Kobe, LeBron, and guys, even Shaq, Lonzo was watching.
As it turned out, all that fame and relentless promotion from his father meant that Lonzo had entered the league with a father on his back. Yet when Lonzo's debut didn't go as planned, Lavar stood his ground and blamed everyone and everything else.
He wanted to interrupt the Sports Center proceedings to make a point. Excuse me, you had some explaining to do. 3 points on 1 for 6 shooting for the man who happens to be your son. He's got a lot of promise, but tonight was not a great night. You said it was going to be a great opening night.
It was a great opening night.
What? How? Explain.
Big Baller brand went up 12%. It's always good. Even when you lose, I win. You see what I'm saying? Big Baller brand, we here to stay. I tell you what, Lonzo did good.
How? What game were you watching? How did he do good tonight? Well, how did he do good tonight? Explain that, Mr.
Rebounds.
Coach. Really?
Physical.
Really?
On a bad foot.
Did you not say, oh, there's a bad foot now? That's where we going? That's where we going? Listen, don't start. Don't you start. You ain't move on. You ain't Michael Jackson. What is that?
Despite breaking some records that year due to his young age, Lonzo's now infamous knee problems commenced in the midway point of the season, which meant that he missed 30 games. While he would continue to improve in terms of shooting and assists, the arrival of LeBron at the Lakers in 2018 soon took the shine from Lonzo, ensuring he was no longer the face of the team that he was once believed to be. Within a year of LeBron's arrival, he would be traded to the Pelicans, and to begin with, the move appeared to give him an opportunity to grow. For one thing, he left the Big Baller brand, covering his tattoo, which saluted the brand up.
What were they selling for $495, and who was buying? You know anyone who did? And if they did, how long did it take him to get the shoes or those $220 flip-flops? Seemed like an iffy business model. The Better Business Bureau gave him an F. That's the lowest rating you can get. Gets worse if the main endorser keeps hurting his ankles and his team is wondering if it's the shoes. The whole thing blows up if the one son that we know can play decides he's not going to be part of it anymore.
This came shortly after another major blow when co-founder Alan Foster was alleged to have been engaged in fraud. And soon, critics like Scott Van Pelt wondered whether LaVar using his sons as marketing tools has led to personal rifts. Later, Lonzo reflected that he was lied to in regards to other athletic wear companies making offers. But what was told to me, I guess, wasn't really what happened. I was told that nobody wanted to partner with me. So my dad was like, just rock the brand. And I was like, all right. Despite all this drama that's left him a sneaker-free agent to this day, Lonzo killed it at the Pelicans. During his time, he obtained several career highs, including 33 points, 14.6 points per game, 7.6 assists per game, 6 rebounds per game, and a 37.8% three-point percentage. But although he performed so well, it wasn't long before he was on the road. After the Pelicans traded him to the Bulls in exchange for Thomas Satoransky, Garrett Temple, and draft picks. Almost immediately, Lonzo got comfortable in the Chi, but just 35 games into his debut season for the legendary team, his knee issues persisted and he wound up losing 2 years of his career. By the time he returned, the league looked a whole lot different, but he was excited to return all the same.
What does it mean to you just to finally be playing in a game again after all you've been through?
Just happy, man, full of joy, happy to be back. Put the uniform on, go out there in front of the United Center fans, miss them a lot. I miss my team a lot, so just to be out there and be available, that means the world to me.
Fresh from cartilage and meniscus transplant surgery, Zoe is seeking to return to peak performance and deliver on the unending potential he once had. But what has happened in that 1,000-day absence from the court is that his younger brother has managed to take the crown that his father suggested he might one day have. The youngest of the siblings, LaMelo never went to college for a year as his father had originally predicted. Instead, he played in Lithuania alongside his brother LiAngelo, becoming the youngest American to ever sign a professional contract in the process. From there, he played a season in the now defunct Junior Basketball Association that was set up by his father before heading to the Australian NBL, where his renown only increased. Following his impressive time over there, LaMelo was eligible for the 2020 draft and was snapped up 3rd overall by the Charlotte Hornets. In the process, this made he and Lonzo the first brothers to both be picked up top 3 in the draft. After signing a shoe deal with Puma that effectively killed Big Baller Brand's last hopes, he immediately hit the ground running. And while LaVar may have been called out for unhinged ways in the past, it was around Melo's first impressive run that people finally started admitting there was method to the madness. He's definitely a character, but 2/3 of his sons are starting NBA players. One will be Rookie of the Year. He obviously did something right. As it turned out, LaMelo did scoop up that very award before making the All-Star game in his 2nd season. Now, he's among the best there is, but his team still isn't contending for the title. As a result, it's hard to see where his ceiling truly resides. Still, Melo gets a lot of love, with his talent shining through and showing LaVar was right to bet on his success. LaMelo is the most disrespected young star in NBA history, but the people rocking with you, Melo. LaVar sipping on wine right now watching his molded greatness. But it should be noted that LaMelo is the closest to LaVar in temperament too. At times, he's been no stranger to outlandish antics with a mic in his face as well.
On him, so that's pretty much what we try to do. Let me keep it cool, calm, and collective. That boy up. And the turkey, ham. Yeah, what else I'm fucking with? Nah, that's about it. Maybe some other shit.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Cobbler. Okay. Yeah, the dessert. Yeah. Okay. My girl be making that. Be smacking for sure.
Okay, so.
New Year, new me. Same me though. Happy New Year. Yeah.
And while this isn't usually anything but a source of amusement, it has recently wound up scoring him a fine. Back in November 2024, Melo was accused of making a homophobic comment in a post-match interview after the 115-114 home win over the Milwaukee Bucks.
You said that last play when he took the shot? Yeah, we loaded up. That's what we wanted. Put the hand up and then live with the results.
This resulted in the league demanding $100,000 from him, the maximum fine the NBA can hand out under certain guidelines. This caused intense debate, with league legends such as Andre Iguodala admitting that while the fine was harsh, he still can't say something like this in a professional setting when he's supposed to be a role model.
You can't say that in NBA.
Really?
Yeah, you can't say that in NBA. Because it's insensitive, it's derogatory to a group, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a big fan base, and we don't want to, you know what I'm saying? We want to respectfully speak towards them, and that ain't not them.
Damn, 100,000?
Yeah, it's a bit much. We're going to fight that one, though, don't worry. But we can't have guys saying that at the same time.
But ultimately, there are bigger issues for LaMelo's career than a fine like that. The Hornets are still stagnating, and at the moment, he has no chance of a ring at this rate. And Charlotte's consistent lack of progression has led to some heckling directed towards LaMelo.
What we gonna do with the shoes, man? The shoes weak, man.
These things cost $2,500, man. You getting paid to lose. We getting paid to watch you lose. That's the difference. You sweating to lose. We get paid. We get paid to watch you lose. Scrub.
Considering they have a 2-21 record without him this season, it's hard to imagine there is anything to the decent speculation that he may be traded. But if it does happen, that could wind up as a good thing for his career, and can provide an opportunity to be on a winning team that he is yet to have. To varying degrees, LaMelo and Lonzo's careers are a testament to Lavar's years of training and pushing his sons towards greatness, even if they might not have fully lived up to that promise yet. But they're clearly still vying for greatness, with a competitive yet friendly rivalry remaining between them.
Wins on this road trip. Heck yeah! Hornets survive in the battle of the Ball brothers.
And even if you think he's insane, Lavar's claims would be easy to dismiss if it weren't for the hit rate. Long ago, an unnamed major coach once revealed that people used to think he might be a little crazy, but he's always right. Whatever crazy thing he says, it seems to happen just the way he said it would happen. He's been bold, but he's been right. And since then, that's continued to be the case. However, there is one brother who hasn't fulfilled his father's prediction of them all being in the league together, and that's the middle brother, LiAngelo. As through a combination of bad luck and bad decisions, an NBA franchise has yet to come calling, and it's looking increasingly unlikely that they will. Unlike LaMelo, Gelo actually went the college route, spending his own tenure at UCLA, but it'd be far less fruitful than his brother's. Before he could even get started, an 18-year-old Gelo was arrested for stealing sunglasses from a Louis Vuitton store in China after just one game. Immediately, his clearly disappointed dad insisted he'd get to the bottom of it.
LaVar, do you have any update on LiAngelo?
No, man, I ain't got nothing yet. I'm gonna wait till I get some more intel what's going on, then I'll let y'all know what's up.
Do you have any concern, or do you think everything's gonna be okay?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everybody making it a big deal. It ain't that big of a deal.
With Gelo facing 3 to 10 years if convicted, Trump got involved and bargained for his release. And with that, Gelo took the title for the biggest controversy any of the brothers had been in.
I'm grateful for this UCLA team that stood strong beside us and made it possible for me to be sitting here in front of you all today. I respect and admire all the hard work that they put in to get us back to the United States. I'd also like to thank President Trump and the United States government for the help that they provided as well. I'm grateful to be back home, and I'll never make a mistake like this again.
Understandably, this threatened to overshadow his basketball career in a way that his brothers had never experienced. Suspended from UCLA for the year, he made his way to Lithuania and the JBA before LaMelo aided him to get to the Hornets G League. From there, he played for the Greensboro Swarm before heading to Mexico and then finally succumbing to ligament injury that has taken him out of contention before. The situation with Gelo is a sore spot for Lavar, who has gone on record complaining about him being overlooked by teams like the Lakers when he declared for the 2018 draft and wasn't selected.
And becomes undrafted. Was that a surprise?
Yeah, because Rob and Magic, I went in the back room with them, do something for Lonzo. Y'all telling me what Lonzo got to do for the team? Okay, we good. Get stronger, faster, more commanding voice. Yeah, now do something for me. Get my boy. They tell me we're going to keep family together. But when it get to the 50-something pick, you don't pick him. You pick some other guy that came from Michigan, which I understand Pelinka had ties with that type of stuff. So I'm like, Magic, you thought I'm going on your word. So that's when I said, you're just a face. You have no say-so. You have no control. I thought you had control like that where you're like, man, we're going to get the other ball boy. I said, man, you get the other ball boy, Melo with a shoe in. We good. Now we got all 3 boys in L.A. Now y'all can do what you want. We good. Let's run
You've been
this.
trying for that the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give him that. So I'm looking at it like, come on now. You don't get Gelo. So now, after a while, look at Magic. I'm gone. Why did Magic say he gone? Because I said what I said. He's just a face. You have no control.
But some people felt that he simply wasn't up there with the best prospects, including legends like Dennis Rodman.
He is not good at all. He's awful. He's just awful.
Awful. He scored 72 points in the Lithuanian league.
It don't matter. Lithuania has no business even in the league. You know, the teams over there just pretty much suck. But the NBA is a totally different thing than the NBA. These are professionals. They know how to play.
What percentage chance do you give LiAngelo on making an NBA roster?
Just because of social media, I'd say 10% chance.
10% chance? Hey.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance. You know, what about
it doesn't matter.
Your son?
You got to play. You got to play. You can play. You can play. If you can't play, don't try to play.
As for commentators like Shannon Sharp, he suggested the following.
Offer still stands. I can get him, make him a tight end.
Well, can you?
Yep. San Diego needs one too.
Right.
Yep. Anthony Lamb, my former teammate, is the head coach.
Yeah.
I get him right.
Yeah. He's got that Lavar Ball.
Yeah,
right?
6'4", 6'5". Lucky about 235 right now. I put 20 pounds on him. Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez reincarnated.
Lavar was on 2 NFL practice squads, right?
Yeah.
Carolinas and the Jets, I believe, as a tight end, right?
Yeah,
Washington State.
I know a little bit more about tight end than LaVar, but okay.
I don't know. LaVar knows a lot about a lot.
Fast forward to today, and following his spell in Mexico, LiAngelo received tough love from his brother about his basketball career status in limbo. During an appearance on the Angel Reese podcast, she happened to ask what he would be doing outside of hooping, and he maintained that he never considered it.
I ain't never thought about not hooping either, so that shit really shocked me for real.
Yeah.
Like when I got older for real, but I still be hooping, like out of the love. I keep my game on me, just in case somebody want to give me a shot.
In case somebody want to give you a call.
They just want to give me a call. I'm right here, man. But I don't know. I just stay in shape, and then I do a lot of shit that I didn't know that I had time for when I was younger. So
like being a father,
I be rapping. Oh yeah, that's natural though. Bro.
What's your what do you be doing on a daily basis? Like
my son love me, boy. He wake up like, hey, dad, they got a time schedule with everything, so it's easy for real. But
from there, both Angelo and Zoe advised him to head outside of America.
I've been thinking about it for real. Like if I want to get a call from the G League just so I can like open them doors up again.
Overseas, Angel.
You don't know that, bro.
I feel like you guys can be. What if you guys want the same team, all three of y'all? That would be legendary.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to get to the G League.
That's let him live his dreams.
I gotta open my doors.
Open your doors.
I just said about the G League. I said he's not going overseas. You already
said it's quiet.
Great deals overseas.
Don't mess with me, bro. And I get some because I get calls overseas.
Like, I know. You
don't want him overseas?
I wanted him to go overseas. If he didn't want to go overseas.
No, I do though. If I had a right setup, I'm going. Like I had to.
So if you get the right call right now, like you going.
And when Gelo didn't seem to listen, Lonzo didn't mince his words.
I feel like you play overseas, and you can get to
the G League over there.
And you get overseas, get to the G League, and you gonna play with your brother. Y'all, all three of y'all can play on the same team one day. That'd be legendary.
What if I could just get to the G though? I feel like I'm cool.
I don't really know how, in the NBA, how does that work? Like
that's what I'm saying. I feel like the opportunity not gonna be the same in the G League for him. Just because of his process and how long it's been. You know, just being realistic.
Like
I'm his big brother. I gotta, tell him the truth. You know what I'm saying? I think his path is overseas. Should have been overseas.
That's fair enough too. Overseas is nice, but look, I feel like if I go to the G League, I'm gonna carry myself. Like I only need a shot, bro. If they give me the shot, I feel like I'm gonna do my thing. I ain't never messed up like that.
This is the problem I have. I feel like you got your shot in the summer league with the Hornets.
You played this year?
And got sent to the G.
When he had played.
When was the last time you played?
What year was that?
2022.
2022.
Clearly, it was coming from a place of love, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't have stung to hear that coming from your big bro. With his brothers on their 6th and 5th seasons respectively, LiAngelo has yet to play a game in the NBA. But all hope is not lost for him to be a success, as he has now found a new career path with music. After he and Lonzo had both experimented with hip-hop over the years, Gelo really made a splash with his hit song Tweaker, a track which he originally teased on a stream with Neon. LiAngelo claims that he knew he had one the minute he laid the track down.
I always get like a little itch to write. Like if I feel like that, I'm gonna go make some songs. Like, I wrote it in the garage, but I was feeling like a certain way, and then I just got to thinking and writing and shit. And that's what I came up with though. But at the end of that, like I knew that shit was gonna be great.
As the track reached the top 30 of the Billboard charts and racked up millions of streams, it marked the first time in a long time that LiAngelo was the center of attention. He was even saluted by his brother LaMelo, who claims he was the most relevant out of all of them at the moment.
My boy Gelo. whoa, he going crazy right now. So yeah, G up there for sure. G going crazy.
LiAngelo didn't exactly expect it either, claiming that even though it wasn't part of the fabled family plan, his father still had his back.
How does your pops feel about like you, I guess, pursuing music and like, you know, really attacking that full-fledged?
Oh, he happy. Like, he just happy to see us all doing what we do for real. I don't think he's mad. Like,
No.
Yeah, I talked to him, he seemed cool. So.
Boasting a track which basically brought back the sound of 2002, the song's success had hip-hop wondering what the ceiling on this new venture is.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I think a lot of these niggas got an album in them. An EP? Yo, you gotta think some of these boys grew up on that. They grew up on this ain't Allen Iverson doing 40 bars again where they like, yo, wait, we're interjecting hip-hop into the NBA. Get this shit out of here. This is a new era. Yeah. Like all these niggas grew up literally on hip hop. So yeah. How much work they gonna That's just hard. I ain't gonna lie.
That shit's hard.
I might request that at the strip club.
But the upside of the track combined with his famous and pre-existing platform has now potential to work wonders. And with that, he signed to Def Jam and reportedly got a major bag in the process.
The contract is allegedly a $13 million deal with $8 million guaranteed, and you still own all of your masters. In a lot of ways, this sounds like an NBA contract.
On my music, and we did do it like that though. Like my contract's professional, bro. Like this something we talked about. I told him like I'm not here for the, you know how music stuff could get, bro. So I really locked in. We not letting it go down that route. And my team helped me put the best thing together. And they said that's the best music contract. Don't hate me, bro.
Soon, the track got a remix with Lil Wayne before he followed it up with his second single, Can You Please, alongside Glorilla. Before long, he was performing at Rolling Loud and debuting new songs.
Please don't make a sound, nigga. Came from the ground, ballin' all up through the town. With some gangsters and some killers too, that's how I walk around, nigga.
But when people noticed that he had lyrics pertaining to the street life, fans wondered not only why he was so out of shape, but why he was rapping like he didn't grow up in a sheltered environment. So we're not gonna talk about bro playing gangsta. What he's rapping about is throwing me off. Didn't he say gangsters and killers? Didn't he grow up with a two-parent household with a father who was making pretty good money? For now, it seems like Gelo's focus has shifted, but it doesn't take long for an interviewer to prove that his first love is still on the court.
Would you rather win a Grammy or have the Hornets or Bulls sign you tomorrow?
Oh, damn. That's a great question, bro. Damn, that's a stump. That ain't no stump. I'm going to hoop, nigga. I'm hooping with Zoe and them. Or Melo, one of them. Shit, I know I could be cold, bro. And I'll put some music out. Shit, we'd be double whammy.
Word.
NBA gonna hit me up like, bro, you can't say this.
10 years on from the Ball brothers first making headlines at Chino Hills, the entire family is essentially embedded in the fabric of American sports culture. But it's fair to say that they are yet to achieve what Lavar set out to. Granted, the man is still hustling and promoting his son's work even after having a leg amputated due to what was an undisclosed serious medical issue.
Everyone heard what happened, and y'all can take my foot, but you know what you can't take? That Bimby account. I might swerve in that corner, whoa.
But at the moment, it's looking like one of his songs will have a platinum record before the others score an NBA championship. And while his older brother is only 27, you can bet that Lavar isn't going to want to see some results on the court sooner rather than later. It's your boy Luesta, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.